Is you ready for me? 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 Nigga. Spotless. Check it. Check it. Is you ready for me?
What's good, everybody? What's good? It's your boy, Cardinal Bud Crawford, or E.S. Red, if that's what you want to call me. And we are back for another one. Alright, y'all, we got them new topics. Emotional control. Why Errol Spence Jr. beats Terence Crawford. Easy work. Alright, y'all, so the fight's coming. It's on its way. It's going to be a action-packed night, November 19th, when it all goes down. Now, I know a lot of people feel like this fight is past its prime. It's overdue. Should have happened a few years ago. And I think some of the casual fans have tuned it out. I think this still will be one of the biggest events in boxing history because of the status of undisputed. One of these two #1 fighters will be crowned the best, not only one of the greatest of this generation, but the best of this generation of welterweight. Now let's discuss the fight. Why I feel like Errol Spence Jr. will beat Terence Bud Crawford. Not only beat him, but do it with easy work, to quote Floyd Mayweather Jr. But I do think it will be easy work for Errol Spence Jr. to win this fight. I think he possesses one attribute that Bud, even at being the older fighter and at the pinnacle of his boxing career, doesn't yet possess. And I think that is the control of his emotions.
I give the slight edge to Errol Spence for one reason. He is more in control of his emotions and is a systematic fighter. Terence Crawford is a dog, but if he gets emotional and get wild, I think Errol could catch him with some shit.
By his own admission, Terence Crawford is an overly emotional person, and he does things off of instinct and not IQ or thinking them through, being rational with his decision making. He does things a lot of times off of basic emotion. And I think Errol Spence Jr., he's more refined of a fighter. He thinks things through. He sticks to a game plan. You can tell that he sticks to his game plan because he works so much off of his jab. He stays in that jab. And then he goes in and he does exactly what Errol Spence is supposed to do, which is be a power body shot fighter. So I think when it comes to IQ, ring IQ, being a ring general, you're going to see a different side of Errol Spence Jr. I think you're going to see him be so methodical and paced with how he fights. It's going to be almost robotic. It's going to be hard for a lot of people to watch because a lot of people are Bud fans, and a lot of people, I think, feel like Bud is just going to overwhelm him. It's going to be combination after combination, and the slow pace of Errol Spence Jr. is going to be his Achilles heel. But I think it'll be the complete opposite. I think Errol Spence's jab is going to be working so quickly and so regularly, say that 10 times fast, that it's going to keep Terence Crawford at bay and keep him from landing his combinations, getting to the inside, and being able to do anything with speed. And I think the fact that Errol Spence is the bigger fighter, anytime Bud does get past that first line of defense, which is his jab, that pumping jab, I think you're going to see Errol Spence wrap Bud up, tie his arms up, and try to work on Bud's body coming out of the clinch. I think a lot of people, they don't realize that Errol Spence, or maybe they're just not paying attention to the fact that Errol Spence is the naturally bigger of the two fighters. And the one advantage other than I think ring IQ and ring generalship and having emotional control, I think Errol Spence is going to be able to lean on Terence Crawford all night. I think Errol Spence will be able to gas Terence Crawford out, where I think the only way of Terence gassing Spence out would be for Errol Spence to chase him around the ring, which I don't think Errol Spence will do or will have to do because of that jab. I think it's going to be the reverse of that. I think you're going to see Bud having to pursue Errol Spence Jr., trying to work around that first line of defense. And that ultimately will lose him the fight. And then I think the other thing would be emotional control. I think because of that jab pumping so often and keeping Terence Crawford at bay, you're going to see him lose control. You normally see Terence Crawford be very methodical, switching up, using speed here and there. But if he can't get done what he wants to get done, that's when mind control comes in. We've already seen Errol Spence Jr. mind F Terence Crawford into doing some irrational things when it comes to his promoter and the way he's went about negotiating this fight, only to end up with the same split they were probably offering him in the first place. I think you're going to see that same mind effing going on when the fight comes to fruition, and Errol Spence Jr. pumping that jab out there so often that it just gets on Terence Crawford's nerves. And that's when you're going to see Terence Crawford try to make a spur-of-the-moment decision, maybe switching at the wrong time, and you're going to see Errol Spence Jr. catch him with either a big body shot that floors Terence Crawford or a big head shot that catches Terence Crawford off guard, not looking, maybe coming out of that switching stance. Errol Spence Jr. being the bigger fighter has a lot of advantages going into this fight that I think people are not paying attention to, being that I think a large portion of the people interested in this fight are Terence Crawford fans. You know, the majority voice I've been hearing has been Terence Crawford fans. It's not really Spence fans making up so much of the drama. I think Spence fans are more tuned into the reality of things, that he is the bigger fighter. He does have the advantage going into this fight. He has went through more welterweight wars than Crawford. So I think they're going into things with more of a level head, where Crawford fans are going into this fight kind of blind to the reality. And I think Terence Crawford himself is going into this fight blind to the reality that it's an uphill battle. Even though he's done all these great things at other weight classes, and yes, he's won more titles than Errol Spence Jr., but he doesn't possess the skills that Errol Spence possesses. He doesn't have the natural advantages that Errol Spence has, and he doesn't have the experience as a welterweight that Errol Spence Jr. has. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that down in the comment section below. Hit that like button for me. Share, subscribe. Holler at me on all social media platforms. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, but you're more than likely to get a response on the tube, so holler at me over there if you want a response. It's your boy, Cardinal, Bud Crawford, or E.S. Red, if that's what you want to call me. And we are man.
Yeah.